Just 18 days into the job, new Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng announced his big plans for the UK economy via a mini-budget. Shortly after, the pound slumped to its lowest level against the dollar since 1985, and seems reminiscent of the UK's last currency crisis, Black Wednesday.
I'm not going to make any comment now.
The shock signals a major change in strength for the pound. In 2007, a lucky Brit could get $2 for every pound that they traded in. There are now concerns the pound could fall further still. Kwasi Kwarteng's former boss, Crispin Odey, said that he believes that the pound could reach parity with the dollar, meaning for every $1 you get £1. The announcements on Friday amounted to the biggest tax cuts in generations, with £45 billion worth of pledges announced by the Chancellor.
And our plan, Mr. Speaker, is to expand the supply side of the economy through tax incentives and reform. That is how we will deliver higher wages, greater opportunities, and crucially, Mr. Speaker, fund public services now and into the future. That is how we will compete successfully with dynamic economies around the world. And that is how, Mr. Speaker, we will turn this vicious cycle of stagnation into a virtuous cycle of growth.
The basic rate of income tax will be reduced from 20 to 19%, and the top rate of tax of 45% for people earning over £150,000 will be scrapped come the 1st of April. The national insurance rate rise of 1.25%, brought by former Chancellor and defeated leadership candidate Rishi Sunak, has already been scrapped. The monumental £400 billion worth of borrowing to fund the tax cuts is likely to grow more expensive with increasing interest rates and continued inflation in the economy. The drop in sterling was fuelled by growing fears of investors over the UK's growing government debt pile. Investors are worried that the Bank of England will be forced to raise interest rates further, causing more cost on the debt, leading to slower repayments. One trader told me he'd decided to short government debts via gilts due to growing concerns over the UK economy. He saw the way that Kwasi Kwarteng had managed the budget as a sign of worry about how the UK government was going to manage the growing cost of living crisis and concerns over the impact of the Russian war on the UK economy. If the pound is weak for a long time, inflation is likely to grow due to the comparative cost in buying things from abroad via exports and imports. If the Bank of England is forced to raise interest rates again due to the worries of inflation, people who already have existing amounts of debt are likely to struggle more with repayments. That means people with large mortgages and people with overdrafts and significant amounts of credit card debt will see the cost of paying those back increase over time. Mortgage rates are expected to hit 6% by 2023, which will lead to the cost of borrowing on mortgages to increase incredibly. Huge jumps in monthly mortgage repayments will likely be passed on from landlords to renters, further increasing the cost of housing across the country. In practical terms, the cost of importing goods from overseas will rise, meaning products like imported food will become more expensive. Fossil fuels are often priced in dollars, and even when they aren't, the relationship of the price to the US dollar is strong. This means that even when they aren't priced in dollars, fossil fuels are likely to become more expensive when the pound is weak. While holidays to the US will become more expensive for British travellers, trips overseas to the EU are likely to stay the same, given the euro's weakness as well. One benefit may be that tourists flock to the UK due to the cheaper pound, as it will make that price of pints just a little bit cheaper across the country.
The change in exchange rate is around about 5%, so I get 5% more. Enables me to buy another pint.